Well, this is part two of riding with Robby on August 27th, and we are on 74A, making our way toward Black Mountain. And what I've done here is I've taken what I believe is the best part of the ride on 74A, which is the switchbacks toward the end of that road. Before you're getting into Fairview, and these switchbacks start just after the Continental Divide. You'll see that sign in just a minute. So I've shortened the video a good bit. I know other riders would probably say that I left out some great curves, and I did. It would have been a very long video if I showed you the curves coming out of Chimney Rock. But you can see right here we're getting ready to head into the switchbacks. We're just almost to the, I'm guessing it's the top of the mountain. It's the Eastern Continental Divide, so it's got to be the highest point in that area. As we were riding, we caught up with a group of other riders, and their pace was a little slower than what Robby and I usually ride, which was fine for me because I'm nowhere near as fast as Robby in the curves. My bike is more than capable of leaving anybody behind. I've got a 2006 Goldwing, with the exception of probably a Gixxer or something like that. But I'm not one that really pushes my bike to the limits. I don't push myself to the limits in a downhill curve. Now, going uphill is a little different story, a little easier for me. I've just got some kind of hang up about going downhill. I think mostly it's because of the extra braking you have to do. So here we are approaching the Eastern Continental Divide sign here and the beginning of the switchbacks. There's not a whole lot of roads that come off of this portion of the mountain, so you will see some traffic at times. We started early enough in the morning that most people weren't out on the highway just yet. A lot of times when you approach that Continental Divide, you're going to see cars parked up there because I believe there's some hiking trails at the top of the mountain. So you got to be kind of careful as you cross that area. But going through these curves, there's not hardly any driveways. In the winter time, when there's no leaves on the trees, you've got some really nice long-range views. And the road's in decent shape. It has been better. It is approaching the point where it needs to be repaved, but it's not so bad that it would give you a problem if you wanted to ride much quicker through these curves. I would say it's in very good shape as far as that goes. Years ago, I had been on this road when there were trees and tree limbs on it. So as you notice, there's a lot of tree canopy cover over this road. So if a bad storm does go through, you got to kind of keep that in mind. You're going to probably have some limbs and leaves and sometimes trees across the road. So just got to be careful about that. Well, I'm going to let you enjoy these curves, and I'll come back in just a minute with some more commentary. Kind of wish I had counted the switchbacks. It's phenomenal, the number of switchback turns that are here on this road. And in a moment you're going to see me spin the camera around so that you can see me and you get some, maybe a little better idea of just how these switchbacks are. They're a lot sharper than they look on video. but they're probably not as sharp as they look like as I use this ultra wide fisheye lens on the Insta360 camera, because it kind of has a it kind of makes the scene look more dramatic than it really is. Now you can start to see as I'm letting the footage pull back a little bit for me as I go through one of the switchbacks, you can kind of see the curvature of the road. Now again, this is greatly exaggerated because of the fisheye lens on the camera, but there are some really nice turns as you make your way down Highway 74A. Camera's kind of goofy. It makes it look like I'm looking at the camera as I'm riding, but that's just another distortion in the perspective. I'm not really looking up at the camera at all. I'm keeping my eyes on the road. What you really have to do in this area. One of the things I cut short on this video is after you come through these switchbacks, you ride through the valley as you approach the little tiny town of Fairview, and there are some beautiful pasture land and big wide views of the surrounding mountains. It is really a beautiful place to ride through. Again, it's one of those rides local riders know about. If you're not from the area, all you gotta do is make your way down to Chimney Rock and head up 74A. Matter of fact, there's two really good roads, and we end up riding the other road a little later on in the day, which is Highway 9. It splits off 74A just outside of Chimney Rock. This is the little tiny world effect you can do with that camera. I love doing that every once in a while. And here's a cut to coming into Fairview. We just went through the major part of the town past the Dollar Tree, or Dollar General I should say, and we decided to duck into this little store for a little bit of a break, fuel up our bikes, and get ready for our next adventure, which I'll show you that a little later on. Hope you're enjoying these videos. Thanks for tuning in.